Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Q&A, the Options Moneymaker and News Cycle Trading and Analytics Q&A. Today is Wednesday, April 5th. I am Erin Rumley. We do not have Kristen with us tonight. Kristen Kane is our live trading room host. She's unable to be with us tonight. She actually had a massive storm roll through her town early this morning, and she is without power and internet, so she is unable to join us tonight. But you have me, Erin Rumley, with you. Something that Kristen likes to really focus on in our live trading room is basically our motto: learn to trade, trade to earn. It's important to learn how to trade before you start to invest or risk any live dollars in that trading, so that you're comfortable handling a multitude of situations, comfortable with your trading platform, and comfortable with the system that you're trading as well. So a few good steps on how to really become an expert on at what point you're ready to trade to earn is learning how to enter a trade. So this is the signals that you choose to trade, whether it's PBs, whether it's A's, whether it's a combination of both, how to manage your trades, how to adjust your stops, how to lock in profit to guarantee yourself profit. We discuss a lot about if a trade gets close to our 10-point profit target, if it gets to about 9 points, that putting a stop, moving your stop to 5 points of profit to guarantee yourself some profit on the trade is a wise move to make, as opposed to letting it come back all the way against you and potentially ending up in a stop out and a loss instead. So learning how to manage your trade. This is also learning how to know what signals tell you to exit a trade. We have our signals that show you how to enter a trade, and then also signals that tell you when is an appropriate time to exit that trade. When is the signal weakening? This is a good time to exit the trade, either for a small profit or a small loss. Learn how to manage your DOM, your trading platform. This is key no matter what trading platform you choose to use. It's important to be comfortable in how you are trading it. Futures can be traded on a variety of different platforms. There are many options out there. Options can be traded on a variety of different platforms as well. Whatever you choose, you just want to practice in sim long enough so that you are comfortable knowing how to place trades, how to manage those trades, and all of the little ins and outs. Every platform's a little bit different on how you would place a trade and how you would exit a trade and how they behave with bracket orders or trailing stops. It's very important for you to learn how to manage your DOM prior to starting to trade live, and then learn when to stop trading. This is on a daily basis, evaluating your profits for the day, or maybe it's a struggling day and you are down for the day, and evaluating, okay, maybe this is a good point to stop, as opposed to potentially increasing your losses on the day. We, for our tracking purposes, for our trading purposes, have a max loss on the day of $1,700, which is 85 points on NQ. Once we get past that point, there's been research done that doesn't make sense to keep trading. Just the market is not behaving well. And so that number may be different for you depending on your risk tolerance and your account balance, but it's always important to learn when to stop trading on both the downside and the upside. If you're up 100 points, so if you're up $2,000 and maybe you give back a little bit, you have back-to-back losses, maybe that's your sign. I don't want to get back anymore for the day. I'm done for the day. Great opportunity to, again, learn when to stop trading. We just finished the first quarter of the year of 2023. So here are quarter one totals. For NQ futures, our PB strategy, which is our PB3s based on the 3-minute chart, PB35, which is a 3-5-minute alignment, and PB13, which is a 3-minute and 10-minute alignment. So far for the quarter is about $21,000 of profit. This is all based on one contract. This is all based on trading from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time. This all assumes a 1700 max loss, that max loss I just talked about. And this also includes FOMC weeks. If you're new to this Q&A, we've done some research that FOMC weeks are not as productive. So this has those really unproductive weeks in these totals as well. And then the A strategy, which is the 3A and 4A signals on our 5 and 10-minute chart, and then 5-minute fractals. Quarter to date is actually up 60,000. A's have been really kicking butt this year, producing some nice, strong profits there. We talked about in the beginning of the year, if you're looking to just start off, A's are a great way to start off because they're also a very simple strategy to learn. There's less time frames that you're looking at as well. You're only looking at a 5 and a 10-minute chart. So when you're starting off, if you're looking for a specific Aurora system that may be more introductory, that would be the A system, the 3A, 4A on the 5 and 10-minute chart, and then with 5-minute fractals. And then we also monitor oil. Our original A strategy, which is the 5, 10, 15-minute chart on oil with the A signals, 3A, 4A, and then 5-minute fractals, is underperforming, but still positive for the quarter, up $9,500. Now, PBs we have recently added to what we are tracking here on oil, and it's almost identical to the rules on NQ. We're looking at the 3-minute, the 5-minute, and the 10-minute chart. We're looking at alignment between those three charts. So it's the PB3, PB35, PB13. Those numbers are still aligned to the same charts. PB3 is a 3-minute, PB35 is a 3 and a 5-minute chart aligned, and PB13 is a 3 and a 10-minute chart aligned. And quarter to date on oil, $54,000. Again, all based on one contract and assuming a $1,700 max loss on the day. So if you hit $1,700, you're done for the day, regardless what happens the rest of the day. It could come back completely and end up in a profit, but that's not what we are using in these numbers. That $1,700 is the stopping point that we have. And again, it includes FOMC weeks. And then averages, which are going through longer than just the first quarter of 2023. We have about $1,300 a day on NQ PBs, $900 a day on NQAs. Oil is $700 a day on the A's, and then $900 a day on the PBs. Something I do want to talk about is the Infinity Futures Dome. It was planned to be discontinued the end of quarter one. Well, we're past that and it is still functioning. So we have an update from Glenn. Glenn is who our contact is at Infinity. For those of you that don't know, Infinity, I think it was last year, the year before, was acquired by NinjaTrader. So NinjaTrader actually owns Infinity, Tradovate, and NinjaTrader. They are in the process of getting rid of Infinity due to basically some technical issues is the reason why they will no longer be supporting Infinity. But it has not happened yet. So the conversation that I had with Glenn is they've pushed the date back a little, but he doesn't have the finalized date yet. As soon as they give a finalized date, everyone with a current Infinity account will be contacted. We have talked quite extensively about being prepared for this transition. So this should not be a surprise to you. You should already have been in a different trading platform, whether that's still in sim or whether you've already transitioned to live. It's important to have already had spent time in a new platform, learning the ins and outs of that platform so that there is no gap in your live trading once Infinity does become discontinued officially. So we've been talking about this for quite some time now. This is not this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. We've made announcements about this. We have suggested Tradovate or NinjaTrader because that's still staying with the NinjaTrader family. There has been opportunities to contact Glenn for a demo of both of these platforms too, to help you decide what platform works best for your style of trading. You may not want to use either of these. That's fine. You can use any trading platform you want that allows you to trade futures. If you're trading NQ futures, you just need to be able to trade those futures, whatever platform you choose to use. It's really up to you. And as we talked about earlier, it's important to know how to manage your DOM and be the master of your DOM. And there, especially with Tradovate and NinjaTrader, being definitely more of those, I would say those newer platforms that have just loads of videos out there and tutorials out there, and even chats out there where you can ask a question and other people that use the platforms can say, oh, this is what I do. They also have amazing support to utilize those features so that you can become an expert in whatever trading platform you choose. Now, we suggested Tradovate based on price, and it was similar to Infinity. Based on my conversation with Glenn, there has been new pricing that they have decided on. This new pricing basically makes Tradovate and NinjaTrader the same exact price. So then it really just becomes, what platform are you more comfortable on? He is saying that he suggests NinjaTrader because he says for the same price, you get the NinjaTrader software as well as Tradovate. So that's what Glenn is saying, is that if you go with NinjaTrader, you'll end up getting Tradovate as well. But you don't get NinjaTrader with a Tradovate account. So it only works one way, not the other. So that is his suggestion. It's up to you whether you would like to take that or not. If you do sign up for a demo, you get both platforms to play with simultaneously too. If you've already signed up for a demo and you're looking for another free demo, you just need a different email address. So you can kind of play the email address game with that to get another free demo if that's what you're looking for. But that is a few changes that we've seen from NinjaTrader. This is the most recent update that I have. This is what they're recommending. These are the prices, and actually I can switch over. You can find the prices on their website. It's changed on their website as well. So you can, let's go. Wait for it to load. So this is Tradovate's talking about pricing here. So you can see it's like the free, the monthly, the lifetime. These are the micros and the standard pricing on here. And then if we look at NinjaTrader's website, I actually navigated away from that. That's right. It's the exact same pricing. So NinjaTrader and Tradovate are going to have the same exact pricing. The only difference, there's two very small differences that I see here, is that Tradovate can connect with TradingView if that's something that you're interested in, is being able to trade from TradingView. Tradovate does currently have that option. NinjaTrader does not, at least not yet. And the other thing is that Tradovate has a download available for a Mac, while NinjaTrader doesn't. It's only a PC download, but they both have web-based options and mobile apps as well. So this is all that I know about Tradovate and NinjaTrader. They both have a depth of market, which is what the DOM is. You can see if you go to their website, you get back over there. You can preview what their trading platforms look like. So you can see here's that DOM with the pricing and everything on NinjaTrader. So depth of market tools. That's what DOM stands for, depth of market. So it has NinjaTrader Super DOM, and Tradovate has a DOM as well. And then again, if you have more specific questions on how the platform works, if you haven't utilized demo, I highly encourage you to start doing that now. Also, Glenn could answer any questions, and if he can't, he could direct you to support that could answer questions as well. Don't expect these DOMs to be identical to Infinity. We've already talked about that quite a bit. They have different clicks of how to place trades, how to cancel trades. So again, as we've been talking about for months now, it's very important that whatever platform, trading platform you choose, whether it's these two, whether it's another one, it does not matter as long as you are comfortable using the trading platform, as long as you know how to place trades, you'll be good. Spend some time in sim getting comfortable. If you run into anything that either you don't understand how to use, if it's on Tradovate, feel free to ask us in the live trading room. We may be able to help. However, their support, Tradovate support, just contacting them, asking them how to use something has been very helpful. There's also plenty of videos out there on YouTube that can help really illustrate how some basics of how to use these platforms. And that's really the case with a lot of trading platforms out there, whether it's futures or options. There's so many videos out there, videos for people that aren't even associated with the companies, other traders out there that go, hey, I trade futures on NinjaTrader. This is what I like to trade. Here's a little tip or trick that they'll have out there too. So utilize your resources to make you an experienced and an expert trader on whatever platform you choose. And again, if you have questions, especially as we're getting closer to this, contact Glenn or whoever your rep is at Infinity with questions, but Glenn will be able to help you as well. So just to kind of give a quick summary, Infinity is still around for those of you that still have an Infinity account, but have been just practicing in Tradovate or NinjaTrader. You're not missing anything. They've just pushed it back a little bit. You should be contacted as soon as they have a finalized date when Infinity will go away. And then with the new pricing, Glenn is recommending NinjaTrader over Tradovate because, as you can see, pricing is now identical. But with NinjaTrader, he is stating that you will also receive the Tradovate software. Let's see. Cheryl, we talked about this a little bit. We don't plan to have any specific Tradovate DOM training coming from us. It's still the same in theory on how we place trades on the DOM for what we show for our Infinity DOM, prepping your DOM, making sure that you have the price centered so you're ready to go when you do click buy market, sell market. But with us seeing a split between people going to Trade-Ovate, people going to NinjaTrader, and a few people going to other platforms. It doesn't quite make sense for us to have an actual training anymore, especially with the amount of training that's already out there. Of course, if you run into something, that's the beauty of having the live trading room, right? If you run into something, and we've seen this even with options tradings on platforms that I've never touched in my life, where someone is saying, hey, I just can't find the symbol. Especially for indexes, they're a little bit different depending on platforms. Some use dollar signs, some use something else that's, I remember, being really funky. And that's what our community is for, is to really help each other out. So if you're waiting for a response back from support, you can always post a question. If you're an Aurora client in our live trading room, if we know the answer, obviously we'll answer you. If not, we can always post it to the community in the live trading room and see if they know. So if you're on a completely different platform and you are just saying, hey, where am I missing? Where is this? Sometimes we can get you an answer pretty quickly if you're still waiting for a response from your support. Jean, I believe so. Jean's asking, if I get NinjaTrader and I get Trade-Ovate with NinjaTrader, then I could connect TradingView in that way. I believe so, but I am not a rep for Trade-Ovate or NinjaTrader. I don't know the answer to that. Somebody at Trade-Ovate should ideally know, yeah, or Glenn someone should be able to get you an answer there. I can only assume that as long as you have Trade-Ovate and Trade-Ovate's working with TradingView, I don't know why that wouldn't work, but I don't want to say, yeah, absolutely, then be wrong, because that's not something I know for sure. And if you go to your TradingView, just a chart on TradingView, at the bottom below the time frames, the daily, like how long of a time frame you want to see on a screen at a time, there's a trading panel. If you click on the trading panel, you can see Trade-Ovate on here. And so Trade-Ovate exists. Ninja's not on here yet, but and I don't know if it will be, but Trade-Ovate is on here. So I would imagine as long as you have access to a Trade-Ovate platform, it seems like it would link up. But again, maybe things will change because as this whole, truly this trio of this merge happening, as Trade-Ovate's coming in and Infinity's being discontinued, they can change their minds, just as they just recently changed all this pricing. This pricing was different when we first talked about the options here. So I don't know for sure. They can change their own mind. It's their product, but definitely give Glenn a call and maybe see what he knows. All right, let me clear out some questions. I think that's all the questions that I see on the DOM change, which I knew we were going to get some, because even when I was following up with Glenn, was like, we're here, it's the end of the first quarter, what's going on? So, and it sounds like he doesn't have a date either, so. Okay, so let me just finish this up real quick, and then Rob, I definitely see your questions. We'll get to those in just about a minute. So talked about the Trade-Ovate change. Our services, for those of you that don't know, we have the Aurora Trading Service. You'll see that on our chart here in just a little bit. The Aurora Trading system gets you access to our technical indicators, those performance numbers I was talking about before. Our Aurora system consists of the PB system and the A systems. While we preview them on futures, they are a great flexible indicator that can work with options or stocks as well. On longer timeframes is what I would recommend for options and stocks. We talked about that during the last Q&A, looking at those longer timeframes to pair up to allow time to get into those trades, because options aren't as quick to get into as futures are. The Aurora trading system also comes with the live trading room access daily, every market day. All the education, our PB system, A system, futures and options education that we have around Aurora. And then we do monthly back to basics recording where Kristen reinforces the education, the original education that's taught, brings in any new education that she can, answer questions, records it. So if you're not able to be live in the live trading room, you still benefit from this education, and then the recording is emailed out. We also provide options education in the form of Profit Builder Plus. This is a great introductory education for anyone that has never traded options before. And then if you are experienced with options and you're looking for more advanced option trades, we have our advanced option spreads education, which go into calendar spreads, diagonal spreads, market tamers, and seed iron condors, which is we call it a profit harvesting from a regular iron condor. And an iron condor is a credit spread, a put credit spread, and a call credit spread paired together. And you learn about credit spreads and Profit Builder Plus. So that's the next step from there, is that advanced options education. We also offer our personal trading plan. This helps forecast your run rate based on your specific trading profit and loss from day to day. It helps you forecast forward, helps you identify when you want to increase contracts based on how much risk of your account you would like to allocate to trading as well. Helps really forecast out to see where you can be at the end of the year, allows you to allocate profits to withdraw them out, and how that affects then the amount of contracts that you choose to trade. You can select the maximum amount of contracts and what your risk is as well. And then we offer one-on-one coaching for any trader that's seeking to accelerate their learning, whether you're completely new to futures and you just want a jump start in, whether you've been trading futures and you're looking to fine-tune some skills. There's a different amount of classes that are available for one-on-one coaching, and it's you and Kristen meeting at a private time, just you and her going over and helping you reach the goals that you and her have outlined together. And then, of course, if you want to see more information about any of these services, you can go to New Cycle Trading's website, newcycletrading.com/services, or Options Moneymaker's website, optionsmoneymaker.com/what we offer. All right, let me get to questions here. Okay, so Rob's saying, on average, how many trades per day or per month? So we have our tracker here. So this is for NQ. And I see that you're looking at the 3A and 4A signals. I'm not sure if that's the entire A system that you're looking for or just those signals, but the entire A system, which is the 5-minute and 10-minute 3A, 4A, and fractals. The average amount of trades per day from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. is about 26.5 trades. If you're just looking for the A signals, so no fractals at all, it's about 17 trades per day. Jean's asking, any news on CycleBot? So we got delayed on CycleBot because we built CycleBot, or had all of the development on CycleBot for Infinity. Well, with Infinity going away, and with all of these changes between Tradovate and NinjaTrader, we have not been able to make as much progress as we'd like to. We're still kind of waiting for this whole Infinity Tradovate NinjaTrader to be finalized before we move forward again, just so we don't run into any other hiccups. Let's see. Yes, there were trades recorded for today. I'll get those. We had our traders tracking. Kristen was gone, but then we have our prop traders. So let me get those. And then I realized Kristen wasn't able to get those on the website like we normally do. So let me just pull those up for you. So this is NQ, the A's for today. So 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the A system was 1065 of profit. And then on the PB system for today was $810 of profit. Cheryl's asking, I love the Aurora system, but I was wondering if there was a way to filter to stop some of the large drawdowns. We're definitely always looking into ways and researching different ways to use our signals or maybe filter a signal. It's always this fine line between filtering out those drawdowns that we might have, and then while avoiding accidentally filtering out too many trades so that now we're not seeing the profits that we want to see either. But it's always something that we're looking into to really see if we can fine tune a little bit more to avoid drawdowns. Obviously, if we could have 100% winning trades, that would be our goal. We're always trying to really tweak things, but you want to be cautious about over tweaking, I guess is probably the best phrase right now, of things, so that you don't end up changing your averages in a negative way, because our averages right now are very strong. Yes, there are days that might have some larger drawdowns, but overall, especially we talked about how the quarter performance is so far, those are strong positive numbers. We want to be cautious about making too many assumptions and changes that causes those numbers to be vastly different. Also, something that you could always look at is using a different max risk on the day. Now that 85 points at $1,700 is based on the research we've done, what we feel is the best. But that's based on the account sizes that we are trading. It may not be what's right for your account. Even two people trading the same account dollar amount might have different risk tolerance. So let's say there's two people trading a $10,000 account. Well, maybe $1,700 is too much to somebody, but $1,700 is no issue to the other person, again, in that same dollar amount account. So there's always something. Kristen has these trackers open throughout the day, so she can always change those stop loss numbers, not on the individual trades, but on the individual days. So if you wanted to see on the A system, if you were interested, okay, well, we know what a negative 85 point loss limit is. Well, what does that look like for 60 points instead? And it brought the average from about 43 points down to 38 points. And maybe this is something that, even though your average is going down a little bit, maybe this is an easier number for you to stomach. Maybe it makes more sense to start with that type of number when you're starting off trading. And as your account grows, then you could always change it to a different loss limit. We talked about that a lot back when I was the host of the live trading room and we were looking at AES. We talked about having a small stopping point, a small winning point in the beginning to help build your account. And then you could always start to move those both out in either direction too, as your account grew. And that's something with our personal trading plan, is it shows you your contract amount growing. Well, maybe instead of your contract amount growing, you decide to have your max risk grow a little bit instead, because you do see that the averages are higher with a little bit more of that room on the downside. And so you'll keep your contract amount the same. So let's say it's telling you to go from 1 to 2 contracts. Well, instead of going from that 1 to 2 contracts, you stay at 1 contract, but now instead of having a 40 or a 60 point loss limit on a day, well, now you're on 1 contract and you're doing the 85 loss limit on a day, keeping with that for a bit, and then you can look to scale up. You're correct, Cheryl. So our A strategy, as I mentioned earlier, is the easier strategy to pick up because they aren't filtered. The A signals don't have a filtering system to it. We've gone back and forth on looking at filtering the A's, and every time we start to filter them, it's not as productive as we hoped it'd be. It keeps us out of losses, but then it can keep us out of some gains as well. But it's definitely something that if you prefer to have maybe more control over what trades you want to take, maybe then PBs make more sense for you, because there are those filtering rules that could keep you out of those trades that maybe move down really quickly and then bounce right back, and you don't want to be in those trades. Thanks, Jean. Thank you for being here today. John, we don't have any direct connection with a trader funding company. We have had some of our live trading room members, our Aurora members, go that route, but we specifically don't have a relationship with one. Kevin's asking, will CycleBot have the ability to backtest data and timeframes to fine-tune parameters for future trades? Obviously, we have a lot on our wish list for CycleBot. It's way too early to talk about what it's going to be able to do. As I mentioned before, we had a setback as everything that we had worked on so far was for Infinity. Infinity is going away. We have to now transition to a different platform and really feel out the strengths and the limitations of that platform. We have a very strong wish list. We'd love to be able to back test and be able to really have some customization on looking for specific profit targets, not necessarily being stuck with what we're tracking, which is that 10-point profit target and 20-point stop loss, for example, on PBs. So having the flexibility to basically just use the signals, the entry points, but then having your own bracket order or your own trailing stop in there, or if you're trading multiple contracts, having those multiple stops and multiple profit orders taken. But again, we have a wish list. What is going to end up being on it at the end, we're too far away from really being able to promise or guarantee anything. Sid, I think that's answering your question as well. There are some trading platforms that allow you to take multiple profit points. If you're trading multiple contracts, Infinity was one of them as well. Tradovate is one of them. Ideally, we would hope that the automated trading machine CycleBot would be able to utilize the already built-in features of the trading platform. That's generally what these CycleBots are doing. They're utilizing the already built-in features, but then it's telling it when to enter and when to exit based on the chart signals. Absolutely. Rob's asking me to show, let me get back over there. You're looking from 8 a.m. Eastern to 12 on the 3A, 4A. If you're not looking for the full system, let me know and I can switch that. 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Averages about almost 28 points a day with about 16 trades a day. Not sure what it was today. Let's see what performance. It's about $410 today. And so this is the 5 and 10-minute 3A, 4A signals and fractals from 8 a.m. to noon Eastern time. Again, that's with that 85-point limit on the day. All right, I'll give it another minute, but I don't see any other questions out there right now. Again, I cannot stress this enough. It is very important if you are still on Infinity and you haven't even looked at another trading platform, make tomorrow your day to at least start that process. Especially if you are a daily trader, a very active trader, you don't want to be scrambling to learn something under the pressure of needing, I'm using my quote fingers, to get back to live. That is how mistakes are made. That is not a smart move. So if you have not even started looking at other trading platforms, now is your time. Or maybe you have the mindset that you are going to stop trading live and just focus on sim trading when Infinity goes away. And once you feel comfortable, switch back to live and just take a break from that. That's fine. Just please be cautious about jumping into a new trading platform with barely any time on it. A week or 2 weeks, in my opinion, is not long enough for you to be confident in a platform to jump back to live trading like you were. Think about how long it took you to become really confident and comfortable with Infinity, and set aside that amount of time for your new trading platform. So Sid, you can trade on Thinkorswim. It's just the charts are available on TradingView. So you can trade on any platform. Just the charting that we have is on TradingView. So for example, where we came from, we had Infinity, which is our trading platform, doesn't integrate with TradingView at all. And then we have TradingView, which is our charting platform. Rob, the 16 for the number of trades is in and out round trip, 16 round trip trades. So 16 in and 16 out. So that number can be odd, if that makes sense. You can have 23 trades in a day because you'll have 23 in and 23 out. It's always something that we could look into, is providing our indicators on another charting platform. It may be a natural progression from CycleBot, since it's another form of writing code. So there was a code written in order to put our indicators on TradingView. Thinkorswim acts in a different language, so it's not just a simple copy and paste. Just like NinjaTrader also has the ability to have indicators. It's also in a different language. So again, not another copy and paste. But as we are writing code for the CycleBot to read the indicators, it may be a natural progression to then have the code go to another platform such as Thinkorswim as well. Andrea, I believe you're correct. Rob, the other platform first is going to be whatever we put CycleBot on, which is leading towards NinjaTrader, would be for CycleBot. Because we already have a relationship with NinjaTrader, and the developers that we are in talks with have already created other CycleBot type software for NinjaTrader. So Ninja's basically where we're thinking we're going to end up with CycleBot. So there may be just a natural progression on NinjaTrader to have our indicator there. That's smart. Andrea starting to sim on Tradebait for a while. as you're getting used to how Tradovate functions. It has similarities to Infinity, but then, as I've mentioned before, there are a little bit, a few things that are a little bit different. Okay, Kevin is saying, what is, here, let me pull that up. I think you're asking about the PB strategy because she's saying for the all indicator. So to look at a projection on annual earnings, I don't have a very clear answer to that because one of the things that we're looking at, let me pull up the PB system. Okay, let's look at this. This might help. So this is, it's going to take a minute for it to start showing, but this is our personal trading plan. This is what I talked about earlier. It helps with our forecast. It does a 12-month forecast. Move that little zoom window. So our PB system in 2022, tracking for the whole year, ended up with a profit of 705,000. Now this is taking it from 1 contract to a 5 contract max. And then we started in 2023 with this amount of profit and already at 5 contracts. So there was a withdraw amount of 350,000, which is about half of the profit that was made in 2022. Leaving us with a starting balance of about 355,000. So far for the year, we talked about, so PB so far for the year are up 96,000 on 5 contracts. So you can see then the 12-month forecast is, we'll go down to the cumulative because it's going to make more sense that way. But the 12-month forecast is actually based on the balance, which is 1.2 million. But the cumulative, so the actual profit is 870. I'm just going to round 1,000. But again, that's based on 5 contracts. So based on 1 contract is 174,000. Now, why is 174,000 so much different than 705,000? Well, that is based again on just 1 contract. That's the number that I'm pulling, is if you didn't scale contracts at all, you just traded 1 contract for the whole year, while this here to get to that 705 was a gradual increase of contracts from 1 contract to 2, 3, and then all the way up to 5 contracts. So that's kind of an answer, depending on which way you want to look at it, for the annual earnings for the all category, and the all category on our Aurora system. That's what the PB strategy is. So those numbers relate to each other. Let me know if that's not exactly what you were looking for. but hopefully I got you an answer with the multiple answers. Okay, great, Kevin. Oh, thank you, Paul. You too. I agree. I really enjoy Infinity. I wish there was something that we could do to save it, but Tradovate is very similar. Again, it's not identical. There are some little nuances, but hopefully, maybe if we just start pointing out the slight differences between Tradovate and Infinity, maybe there's some hope for the developers to make some adjustments to bring some features from Infinity to Tradovate. We actually have quite a few of our Aurora members that also are quite busy during tax season. So we're used to kind of seeing them wind down, not be as active in our live trading room during the pressing time, and then pop back up after tax season is done. I would imagine so, Jean. From what we've researched with NinjaTrader, it does have quite a few possibilities. All right, that's all the questions I see out here. Thank you all for joining me tonight. We are optimistic that Kristen will be in the live trading room tomorrow. She has some backup plans. So if she doesn't get power, she has a backup plan in place. But worst comes to worst, we will send out a communication if something happens. Just as a FYI, her and I were talking today that if she did randomly get power back shortly after the room starting, that she would just open up the room and we'd send out a communication letting you guys know that it was now open. So if she's available, she's going to be there. For sure, no question about that. Don't forget that Friday is a market holiday. We will be closed. The markets will be closed. And then Monday we'll be back at it, normal operating. So thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we will talk to you soon.